Hi guys, and welcome to the first video of 2026. Woo! It is a beautiful Irish rainy day. It's actually Monday, which is the horses' day off. So I thought that today I would do the first video of the year and a bit of a video where I just basically introduce you to all the horses and give you guys an idea of the plan for this year, because I'm so excited for this year. I feel like last year, obviously I started doing the horses full time, started a business. It was a bit of a trial and error year, you know, I was trying things out, I was seeing what worked. I've since made a very detailed business plan and I have so many ideas and I'm so excited for this year, and yeah, I'm hopeful we might make some money. That might be optimistic, but either way, it'll be really fun, and I think there's a lot of exciting things for you guys to follow. And now that I'm like really doing this full time, I can really give this everything, and it's quite exciting. So I thought I would start the year off by explaining the plan for each of the horses. So at the yard here where I am, which is at my like home house, there's only the riding horses, so there's only 6 horses here, and then the rest of the horses, the young horses and the brood mares, are all about half an hour from our house. So I will hop in the car and I can explain to you what young horses we have, which ones I'm keeping, which brood mares we have, who's in foal and who's going back in foal, and then we will head back here for the riding horses. So I will see you there. Hi guys, it is actually a different day because I drove up to the horses that day and it was so windy and raining. I tried to video and you couldn't hear anything I was saying. So I'm back again and it's a beautiful, crisp kind of spring is coming kind of day. And I'm just walking down. Oh, I've spotted them. Just looking for the horses in this beautiful field that they're in. We're so lucky and so grateful that they're able to be on this lovely big rolling field of grass. They've really loved it this winter. There's 5 horses here, so I'm going to wander over and we'll have a little bit of a chat about all of them. So first up to me here is Zeffy. Here I have some treats, Zeffy. Zeffy is a 3-year-old this year, which is very exciting. He's by Sister Z and he's out of my mare Wellbeck. He's going to be a big boy. He is a big boy already and he's only 3. And I'm really excited about him. So this year he's going to get a full set of x-rays to make sure there's nothing that we need to deal with, and he's going to get broken in at the very end of the year, and he will also jump over a pole for the first time ever, loose jumping, which is very exciting. So future plans with him, I really think he could be a good one. I would like to produce him until he's maybe like 6 or 7 and maybe starting to jump bigger classes. That's like a tentative goal, but we'll see what happens. Like, I'd love for him to start jumping like maybe kind of 135, 140s, and then sell him probably then, just because he's a gelding, so again, can't breed him, which is sad. But I think he's going to be a good one, just from what I've seen with his movement and things. He looks nice. Right beside him is his younger sister. This is Seren, or Serendipity is her full name, Castellos Serendipity. Oh, I should also say, yeah, so his full name is Castellos Zephyr and she's Castellos Serendipity. Come here, Seren, so we can see you. So she's by the stallion Bamako de Muse and she's also out of Wellbeck. Zeph, will you go back for us? Jesus, they're just like lumps, aren't they? They just don't move. So Seren is a year old. Are you? Or are you 2? No, she's 2 years old. Gosh, are you 1 year apart? She's a little sweetheart. She's also going to get x-rays this year because now that she's 2, she's actually eligible for a scheme that gives us free x-rays in Ireland if they have good breeding, and she does have good breeding. So she gets to avail of that scheme, which is great. She also has a little umbilical hernia that we might just fix if she needs any like surgery for chips or anything like that, but it's so small. I haven't done anything with it yet. Her plan is kind of similar. Well, for this year, nothing. She's just going to grow up in the field and be happy. So you're really not going to see her little star. Look, she's so cute. But for her future plans, she'll be broken in, ridden, competed, and because she's a filly, there's more chance that we could keep her long term. Also, Bamako is a very, very nice dam sire, which means like he breeds very good brood mares. So there's a chance she might stay forever and ever. Maybe she'll replace her mum, Wellbeck. Next up, we've got Taggy. Her real name is Hatagia. I bought her last year in an auction from the Netherlands. She's a little bit shy compared to these absolute monsters. Good girl. She's also, yeah, she's very suspicious about eating out of people's hands. She was actually in at the start of the year because she cut her leg, and at the time I was so sad that she had done that, and I was annoyed she had to be locked in. But it's actually such a blessing in disguise, because she became so much more friendly and like really kind of bonded, which was so nice. I really liked that. Steffi, you're actually a monster. So yeah, it was really nice that she, like, I couldn't even, oh okay, that was Delfie chasing her away, but before I couldn't even pet her in the field. She's also 3 this year. She's going to do the exact same as Zeffie. She's going to get x-rays, she's going to get broken in, and she already has loose jumped for her sale video, and she looked very exciting. So she'll do another little jump and see if she still is exciting. And long-term plan, probably ride until she's 6 or 7, unless like I got a really good offer to sell her sooner. She's by the stallion Contagio out of an Eldorado mare, which is like breeding that we don't have here, so I would definitely be interested in breeding her, even if that meant that we just took embryos from her and then ended up selling her. I'm not sure, but I think for sure she's anyway as good as she looked to be in her loose jumping video. Then we will breed something from her. Oh, behind me is an absolute freeloader of a horse. Here she is. This is Tia. What's her name? Cultivate is actually her name. She's a thoroughbred. It's so funny, I bought her for like a few €100 as a recipient mare, but I looked her up afterwards and she sold for like 30 grand as a yearling. But just obviously was no good. She's, yeah, as I said, a recipient mare, so hopefully we'll have some embryos to go into her this year. Well, an embryo to go into her this year. We did transfer 1 embryo into her last year and it didn't take, but I'm not going to blame her. It was a frozen embryo, which do have a much lower chance of success, so we shouldn't blame her. I'm going to get I feel like I'm going to get a kick at some point. So yeah, hopefully she will either... So the plan is that I'm going to start scanning her in a few months when it's more, when they're cycling more. Guys, stop. And the first thing that she will get transferred into her is a frozen embryo that I have, which I'll talk to you guys about if it's successful. And if it isn't successful, then she will hopefully carry an embryo for Delphi, who we will chat about later. And then last to go is, of course, not here with the guys. She's doing her own thing down there, so we will go and chat to her if she wants to be on camera, which she probably won't want to be. So this is Wellbeck, the myth, the legend that is Wellbeck. So Wellbeck is now, I think, like 17 or 17 this year, girl. What a star. So I've had her a long time. I've had her probably, I think, since she was 6 or 7, so yeah, 10 years. Wellbeck I jumped up to 1.35 with, and then she started breeding. She was actually totally sound. It's just because I kind of went to college. I had Cal and I had Deli, and I didn't really have time for another horse. And 135 was her limit, so I decided to breed from her and then continue with the 2 boys instead. She has had, yeah, 2 foals that we saw earlier, and she also had another foal that unfortunately passed away. And she is currently in foal to a stallion called Ulrich, who stands here in Ireland. I tried to get her in foal to Calestis last year, who is a stallion who's overseas, and it just wouldn't work. And I'm honestly not sure why, because she's always been very fertile, very easy to get in foal, and, you know, switched to Ulrich and she went straight in foal first time. But because I did try with Calestis a few times, because I do really like him, it means that she is quite late to foal this year. She's not due until July, which is quite late, but that's okay. It means that she's not really showing very much. She's looking quite trim still. Hopefully you are actually in foal. You know, they can lose them quite early on and then you don't even notice really. She has, oh, I'll show you her bag, there's like a little bit there. Yeah, you're a good girl. She says, I'll be friends with you if you give me treats. So I'm very excited for this year's foal with her. Be nice to have a little, it'll, I think is guaranteed to be chestnut, and the stallion also has a big white face and white legs, so I feel like it's going to be a chestnut with white face and white legs, but who knows, you never know with horses. So yeah, she, although being 17, she is fit as a fiddle. Like, she is the youngest 17-year-old ever, and I think that, you know, all going well, she will definitely have 1 or 2 more foals, which is exciting. And then she'll just retire and live out her life just in the field, being the boss of all the horses. It's good to have a horse that's the boss. And yeah, that's her, my girl Wellbeck. I love her so much. I might put some clips in of us jumping when we were both younger. Nice to look back on. I'll get you a video of her. So that is it for the horses in this field, and we will head home back to past Holly, who was able to video the horses at the yard. And we'll continue on from there. So I'll catch you guys then. Okay, we're back. Here is the first riding horse. You have to excuse also how scruffy and hairy these horses are, because they've only been back in work a week and I have not clipped them yet, but it is happening this week because my blades arrived back, which are sharpened, ready to go. So I just need to clip them. Really interested in this hat. So this is Cal. Obviously, if you guys have followed for any length of time, you will definitely know Cal. Oh, the next horse is getting a little bit upset that I'm not giving her attention, but anyway. So this is Cal. Cal is a homebred horse. He's 12 years old this year. Oh my god, I cannot believe we've known each other for 12 years. That's more than I've known like most of my friends. So that is crazy. He has jumped up to 1.45 meters. We've done some 2-star Grand Prix, and that is basically the plan for the next however many years he stays competing for, is to jump National Grand Prix, a couple of internationals, and just basically for him to be my Grand Prix horse and have like the best time ever. He will never be sold. We decided that like at the start of last year. We kind of went through a phase of will we sell him, will we won't sell him, and basically came to the conclusion that we're too soft to sell him. And you know, he's the very first homebred we ever had. You know, he's just so special to us. Dad adores him, and he's just such a great horse. He's so reliable. You know, I can go out, place in Grand Prix, earn a bit of prize money. It's also very valuable, obviously, for me to have a Grand Prix horse and to be jumping in those classes and like have that basically advertisement, I guess, for our yard. So yeah, that's what I'm telling myself. I'm telling myself that he's worth more to me as my horse than selling, which is hard when we've had good offers, but I will not sell him. I won't. So that's the plan for Cal. He's just going to come back into work. My big goal is to jump a 150. Will it happen this year? I don't know, but that is the goal. Moving on to the next door stable, which is Deli. Here he is, big grumpy man, ain't you? No, he loves attention. So Deli is our second ever homebred and is Cal's half brother. So he's out of the same mother, but a different stallion. Deli is a very big horse, as you can see. He's 10 years old now. I'm gonna keep getting their ages mixed up because we've just come into a new year. And he has also been jumping 140s last year. Last year was definitely his breakthrough year because he's such a big horse. It's just been, you know, a slow, patient progress to get him strong and fit and mature enough to jump bigger classes. But last year was for sure his year. He went out, he was jumping lots of the National Grand Prix, he was jumping clear, he was being a really good boy. And I did say at the end of last year that he was tentatively for sale. So I guess like a very brief update, because I hate sharing these things before they're all solidified, because, you know, things can change. You know, deals fall through, but I do have a deposit on him. So he's being held for someone, but they are currently overseas. So he's going to be here for the next few months, basically. But they've just paid to hold him. So he's going to come into work, and yeah, hopefully that all goes through, because basically I've been talking to this person for quite a few months now, and they just seem perfect. Like, he would be living a life of luxury, guys. You can't even understand. So I just, yeah, obviously it's very sad, and I love him so much, and he is our little baby. But then when I see where he'll be going and talk to the person that'll be riding him, I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. It couldn't really get much better than that. So basically the current plan is he's going to come into work, get jumping, maybe even go to a show, or maybe just jump at home, and then when that person gets back home from overseas, he will be vetted and go to them, all going well. So that's the plan with Deli. Oh, poor Deli. No, not poor Deli, poor me. He's going to be very happy. I'm going to be very sad, but the person has already told me that I can come and visit anytime I want and see him all the time. So yes, I think it's best case scenario. But obviously, as I said, things can change, deals can fall through. So who knows what will happen in the future, but that is the current plan. Do not. He's so cute. We are going to move on to Wiggy. So this is Wiggy. Wiggy is now 5 years old. Yeah, he's growing up. He's a big boy now. So Wiggy is another homebred. He is the first foal out of my mare Wellbeck that I jumped to 1.35 m, and he is by the stallion Dignified. He is a big boy. He's actually 16.2, 16.3. He is so fab to ride. He was really nice last year. So basically he was broken in as like a rising 4-year-old, went on a break. Then he came back into work a little bit last year. But last year I was so busy with all the client horses. I was trying to make money. I was just doing it all. And because he's such a big horse, sorry doll, I didn't think I would be really competing him properly as a 4-year-old anyway. So I kind of half brought him into work and then said, I don't actually have time. So we just went on a break. And then he came back into work at the end of last year when a lot of the client horses went home and I had more time, and he was really nice to ride. I really enjoyed him. He's so sweet. Look at him, like he actually is such a sweetheart. And yeah, he jumped for the first time under saddle. He went to a little arena hire just to see a little bit of the world, and then he went on a break again because all the horses went on a winter break for a month while I went to Australia actually. And now he's back in work a week, and the difference in this horse I can't even explain. Like, he feels so good. He feels so strong, so supple. He used to work with quite a high head carriage and kind of took his nose in a little bit. He's really just stretching. He's really round over his back. He feels so good, so good. Obviously he's only back in work a week, so he hasn't done anything too exciting. But okay, Delphi, it's not your turn yet. But he's just so gentle. Do not look, she's eating my hair. He's just so gentle and you can just hop up on him and he doesn't get sharp or silly. He's just the kindest, sweetest horse, and feels really good also, and really nice on the flat. So I'm really excited to get him jumping. The plan for Wiggy this year is to start compete for the first time. So the 5-year-old classes in Ireland are between 110 and 125. They kind of increase as the year goes on. It would be nice for him to, even if he doesn't jump the age classes, get towards that level. That would be the goal for him. And then I hate to say it, but sell him. So I love him obviously, but he's a gelding. We can't breed from him. I already have Cal. The next horse that I keep long term is going to be a mare, so then we have the option to breed. The business is selling horses. Unfortunately, he has been chosen as one that, if the right person came along, I would sell him, is basically how it's gonna go. So yeah, he'll definitely stay with us until like summertime, until he's competing. I definitely won't sell him before that. I have already had people messaging me, but he's gonna stay until he's competing. And then yeah, if the right home comes along, I will sell him. And I think he'll make a fab horse for someone. I also think he could make a really good eventer because his mother is half thoroughbred, so he actually has a really high thoroughbred blood percentage. I think it's like 70 plus or something like that. And his sire Dignified has bred a lot of nice eventers, so he actually annoyingly could be quite a high level eventer. I just don't event. Do not take my hat off. Yeah, it's unfortunate that I don't event, because I think if I evented I would probably keep him, but yeah, he'll make someone else very happy. He's a very nice horse to ride, so keep your eye on him if you're looking for a horse this year. Okay, next, Delphi, it's finally your turn. It's finally your turn. She says, oh my god, thank goodness, I thought you were ignoring me. No, we're not. Oh, now you're upset. Right, so this is Delphi. Delphi is now 4 years old. Congratulations, Delphi. You're now a big girl. So she's now 4, which means she can now compete. And that is the plan for her this year. So Delphi, I bought as a foal. Her mother has already produced a 150 horse. Her sire is Phantom Mr. Muse. She is an absolute dinger. Like, she's blood, she's athletic, she's careful. She's going to be a really, like, a proper horse. This is not going to be an eventer. This is not going to be an eventer. This is going to be a show jumper. She's fab. I really like her. The only thing that stops me from saying that I'm going to keep her forever is the fact that she is not super tall. And I am quite tall. And I do like a tall horse. And she's just a little bit on the smaller side for me. I feel like loads of people want a 16-hand horse. I quite like them like 17 hands. So I'll just see. Look, she's still only 4. She'll probably do a bit more growing. If she gets to 16-1, who's to say? But at the moment, the plan is to, yeah, basically finish breaking her in. I broke her in at the end of last year. She got to the point where she was trotting around the arena, but that's it. So very, very lightly backed. She's now back in work. I haven't actually sat on her yet because the first few days of lunging was like flying a kite. She was up in the air. So I thought I'd do a little bit more groundwork before I got back on her. She's, yeah, got a lot of blood, and she's just got a lot of blood. I love it. I'm so excited to have like a really sharp blood horse to compete, because I do really like them like that. And bless Cal and Deli, but they're not super sharp in blood. They're quite easygoing and mellow, and the same with this guy. You're gonna be my first little sharp, like little blood horse. That's my plan. So anyway, the plan is to compete her this year. The 4-year-old classes in Ireland are between 1 metre and 1.10 meters. It would be nice for her to jump 1 or 2 of them. They're judged classes, so it's all about like the technique of the horse, the rideability and things like that, as opposed to like going against the clock. Obviously is not a thing in 4-year-olds. So it would be quite nice to do that. I'm also hopefully going to take an embryo or 2 from her. I think I'm just worried that if I got a very good offer for her, I probably would have to sell her just because of her height for me. But I wouldn't want to sell her if I didn't have an offspring from her, just because obviously we bought her, so I don't have anyone else from this line. And it is a really nice like line. There's lots of good relations in the family, so I would be upset to not have anything from her. So I won't sell her unless I have an embryo, or if I did sell her, it would be with a contract that I would get an embryo from her. So that's the plan with Delphi. Not Wiggy's for sure for sale, Delphi's not for sure for sale, if you get what I mean. She's more like, if it was an offer I couldn't refuse, but I really like her and I think she's going to be a proper horse. And her sister that jumps 150 is also small, so doesn't matter. If they're good enough, they're big enough. Isn't that right? Oh, you just hit your head. So that is it for Delphi. So this is Cougar. Cougar is not my horse, but she is going to stand with me while I chat to you about miscellaneous horses, which are horses that I don't own and horses that I am yet to buy. So Cougar, as you guys probably remember from last year, she was here. She's owned by Lauren Allport. She's lovely. She's now 6, I believe, but she had a foal, so she's a little bit behind. But she's been jumping, she's really nice. Her plan is to get out to some shows this year, which is very, very exciting. So it kind of brings me on to the point, which is those horses I've just showed you are my horses, but I'm also going to have probably 2 or maybe 3 client horses competing alongside them. So that's a little bit of the change that I've had from last year. Last year I had a lot of client horses and not so many of my own. This year I'm switching it up. Mostly my own horses, only a couple of client horses and ones that I really, really like. So Cougar is obviously one of them. There's also a 4-year-old coming that I broke in last year who I really liked. So she'll be coming to get out to some shows and be sold. Unfortunately, she's very nice. If you guys remember Eden is still here. She's just in the field. But she's, very excitingly, her owner has decided to keep her and to jump her herself, which I'm really happy about because I love Eden and I also love her owners. They're really, really nice people. So I'm delighted that they're staying together. So she's going to come back into work in a month, and then I'm going to get her kind of fit, jumping, and ready for her owner because her owner is currently overseas. So that will be a plan with her, and then obviously Cougar. And then once I sell one of mine, my plan is to buy 1 horse as a sales horse, okay? And I know what people always say, why are you selling a horse just to buy another horse? Because I just love producing horses. It's just so much fun. It gives me so much joy, so much satisfaction, and also it is a pretty good way of making money in horses, buying and selling horses. I love it. I love it so much, and that's the plan for the business. So that will be really exciting. I'm going to try and find something young and probably sell it in the same year or the following year is kind of the plan. And yeah, exciting times. So that is the plan for all the horses. I've never been so excited, honestly, for a year of jumping. Like, I think having them mostly as my own horses, I'm even more excited, and especially because they're almost all homebreds except for Delphi, but I bought her as a foal, so she feels like a homebred. I'm just so excited to see them progress and see what's in store in the future for them. But that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're a little bit more around who the horses actually are, because I know it can get confusing. But yeah, this would be a good reference video if you're ever watching another video and you're like, who the heck is that horse? So I'm going to leave you guys here, and I'm going to see you in the next video, hopefully very soon, because YouTube is back. I'm back riding the horses, YouTube's back, social media is back. It's going to be a really good year. I cannot wait. All right, see you guys.